Okay, as you can see, I've gone ahead and I've made his glasses, and I've made his stampede string here. Okay, he's looking good. I think he is looking real good. Now, I'm going to show you how I did it. We're going to do the glasses first, okay? Take them off of here. There they are right there, a pair of glasses. And they're very simple to make. We're going to use a 1/2-inch dowel, just got a little piece here, and some 18 gauge wire. Pull me off a string here, that'll be clean. Snip that off. And we're going to make the glasses first. So just hold your finger on the wire and bend it right around to where you go beyond your bend, like that, okay? Then put it right next to that and do the same thing again. Just like that. Pull that off, just like that. And you'll have 2 rings just like that, okay? So then you're going to take this and you're going to grab it right there at the junction, and you're going to bend it a little. And you're going to grab this one right there. Well, actually, let's grab it right there. Bend it right there. And this one just a bit more. What we're doing is we're just making the nose piece here. Just like that, okay? Now I got this one a little far apart, so you can see the difference there. That's all right. That's just demonstration. Then take your snippers, and you want to snip it right there where it touches the nose bridge. Okay, right there, just like that. And the same thing here. Alright. Okay, now you can just use your fingers and bend them. We're going to try to get all the bending done before you do any soldering. That looks pretty good right there. And you want these things to come right up and touch if possible. Just like that. Just like that. And check them out here. This one's just a little bit big. So I'm going to take a snip off of it. Bend this up a little bit more, like that. And we'll bend this into it. Like that. The bridge is kind of crooked. Okay, so there we have that. Alright, we'll just lay that down right here. Got me some flux here, some paste flux, and a toothpick. Put me a little flux right there, and a little flux right there. Hope you can see that.
No, your fingers are pointing.
Anyway, I put some flux right there at the 2 points. I've got me some silver solder right here. I like using silver solder. It's a lot stronger than your regular solder. Get me a little bit off of here.
Your left hand's
And I'm just going to hold it right on there till we get a good weld. Just like that.
oops.
just like that. So there we go, we got the lenses done. Now we do the temple pieces. So we just straighten the wire out here. Take your nippers, grab it back a little ways, and just bend it right around like that. Okay? Kind of guesstimate the length of the temple. Take our glasses. It's just a little too long. And squeeze that together. Just like that. I'm not going to do the other one. Don't have time. So, but I mean, the other one's done the same way. Again, I'm going to put some flux right there at the junction where they're going to match up. And I like to put mine just about right in the center, just about like that there. Get me some solder. So there, we got that done. Now when you bend these temples for their head and everything, you're going to, if you're not careful, you'll pop the length. That's way too far out there, so let's bend it anyway. Just hold it in place. You want it kind of down like that right there. I hope you see that. Just hold that in place. It's kind of hard to do. And then just bend, come on now. Bend that piece right around his ear, just like it would go. Just like that. Okay, just like that. Alright, and then what I'll do is I'll come back, snip that off right there. Take this end and kind of bend it up like that, just so it curves away from his ear. That's the way a real eyeglass would go. And then you can kind of manually bend that back around some more. Take this over and sand the end off of it. File that off. You don't want that sharp edge on there. Now I weakened that arm right there, so I'm going to re-solder it. There. So there we have one arm done. Now when we anchor these things on here later, what I'll do is I'll bend, won't use this gauge wire, it's a little thick, and I'll just drop it on the floor. I'll use a smaller thickness of wire, and I'll just bend me a couple little staples, just like that. Once I get the glasses positioned, I will just drill a couple holes, probably about right there, and about right there, to hold them on his glasses. Okay? Alrighty, so that takes care of making glasses. See, that was easy. Unplug this solder line before I burn myself. Now, what I do, this isn't fish oil. This is gun blowing. You can buy a jar of this down at Walmart, at your hardware store or whatever. I'll use this one as an example. I think I've showed you this before. Just take it, pour it out into a larger vessel if you want to, get the whole thing. Stick it in there, and see, it just immediately turns it black. And you can use a brush, brush it on. It's a lot easier to dip it. Then I just set this aside to dry. And after it dries, it sort of oxidizes there on the surface of it. And it gets kind of dirty, like that. But you can wipe that off, or you can take it over and give it a couple squirts of depth, let it dry and then squirt it again. And that'll set that oxidation and make it a lot darker than it would be if you wiped it off. And on your soldering area, I should have buffed this wire before I did this. If you buff it before you do it, it's going to have a nice solid finish, but this one didn't because I didn't buff it. See there, it's rubbing off. But if I buffed it, it wouldn't rub off. But anyway, spraying it will set that stuff and it keep it from coming off on your carving. All right, hope that all's clear. Gun blowing. Actually, it's gun browning. So let's set that aside. Now, for his bolo, let me go wash my fingers. I don't want to get the carving dirty. Okay, for the stampede string here, let's take him apart. All right, back here in the back, I drilled 2 holes. And I also cut 2 notches to where these straps go, so they'll lay flush when I put my hat on. Right in front of it here. There, it's going to look good. Don't need daylight in there if you can help it. Let me take it apart here. And then it's just a matter of put a nice bend on your wire, and this wire, let me show you, this is 3 strands in here. Oh, wait a second, it's 4 strands, sorry. Let me get something to show you. You can buy this galvanized wire down at Home Depot or Lowe's or whatever, and it's got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strands on here, where that's way too heavy for this. So I pulled off 2 strands, so this has 4 strands. Now the reason I use this is because if I used this and pulled out, several pieces, I'd never get them exactly the same length. And then when I stuck them in the drill to twist them, I'd get a little bubble. Every once in a while down the line there'd be a bubble, because the one wire would be a little bit longer than the other wires. But by buying this factory twisted wire, you don't have to worry about that. You'll get a nice even twist the whole way down because it's already twisted. And then you can chuck this in your drill and twist it even tighter, to make it look more rope-like if you want to. In this case, I didn't do that. So anyway, we bend this corner here and we put that in there. And then just like we did around the guy's ears when we formed his eyeglass temples, we just bend it around here. It takes a while to do this, to get it all the way you want it on both sides, like that. Okay, these are bent around just about the way I want them. And I also went and kind of grooved these areas out here, carved a little channel for these things to rest in, because that's what would happen, from the weight of the hat pulling down against the clothes. And it also kind of helps to lock these things in place. Okay, to make the bead, how much time we got? 15 minutes already, so we'll run through this real quick. To make the bead, I used 1/2 inch dowel I pre-drilled a hole in the end down here. This is important, you got to do this. And then I just worked my drill up to where I got me a large enough hole to where two pieces of this goes, two pieces of the wire will go in there real easy with lots of room to spare. And before I put it on there, I went and I drilled a smaller hole the size of a brad here, just about it looks like about an inch and a quarter brad finishing nail. And I will slide this up, get it all in place once I, get the wire the color I want by the gun blowing. And then I can stick this nail in there, slide that up, find my hole somewhere in there. But the reason you have to do everything ahead of time, because if you don't, you're going to bust your bead. Somewhere, there it goes. Alright, so I'll just force that in there, like that. And see, that holds everything in place. And then I will actually take my drill and kind of enlarge this hole right there in front so I can force that brad down even with the surface of the bead, and it'll be covered when I paint it. Alright? And what else here? Remember, you're going to be doing this all with the carving painted, so you want to make sure everything, all the colors on the bolo is set, because you don't want any of that old brown junk rubbing off on your carving. Alright? I hope I covered everything. Okay, I hope that was all clear. So let's put him all back together here, find the front again. Put his glasses back on. Just like that. And I think he looks pretty slick. Okay? So we're not going to get into any burning. We'll have to do that in the next video when we get ready to paint. Okay? So, until next time, I'll talk to you later.